Alright, we're gonna go spend day one. We heard there's a board game session or free board game play till midnight, so we're gonna check that out. Let's go! There it is! Wow! It's insane here. So many people. And it's like almost 10 p.m.
You're a French cheese maker.
Fromage.
You ate your cheese.
There's so many games. How do you even pick?
Oh, the alphabetical. Yeah.
Oh. Good morning. We officially are up. We didn't get to bed until like 2 a.m. We were just up chatting, talking about games, checking out what sessions we can do today. But today will be our first full day at PAX Unplugged. We're excited. We are gonna go get some breakfast first, and then we're gonna go check out the expo hall, and then we'll go from there. There's some cool sessions we're gonna go check out. There's some like mini painting classes, some playthrough of some games that we saw yesterday. And yeah, maybe buy some games. But I'm excited. I'm excited because I think a good way to understanding game design is to really try different types of games. And board games are designed where the different degrees of difficulty enhances a player experience. One of the games was just a 2-player game where we were playing with gems. We're like gem crafters, and then we had to compete in who can make the most jewelry. It was like a competitive game with cards, with luck. Probably gonna check that out. I should probably end up buying it today. And then we played this other one that was like a racing game, which was pretty funny. I love the art on it. It was a pretty simple concept. We were just racing, rolling dice, racing around the track. Whoever gets to the end first wins. There's 4 rounds. The fun thing about it is that each character has a special skill. My favorite character was actually, well, there's 2. This one was Banana, and every time a character passes you, they slip, and then they have to take the next turn to get back up. And then there's this other character that was like a giant baby, and if the baby lands on your square, or you land on the baby's square, I think, you have to like go back a square or something, because the baby is giant. It's just such a fun concept. It's 4 rounds, pretty fun. Might also end up buying that. We'll see. But yeah, excited for today. All right, we'll see you later.
To play a ninja with a matching number. There's this kid who's looking at the Twilight Imperium. He's walking. I have.
Gotcha.
Finally moving. So we're gonna go check out the expo real quick.
You still look like they've been paying attention.
We found out that there's tons of Let's Play for a lot of different board games, and it's such a great way to really get into the world of game design, or at least get comfortable with it. There's like easy board games, but all the way to like more longer, difficult board games. This one's pretty cool. Whoa. This is a great way to just learn game design, just get comfortable with it too. Look at this one. Found the Sims board game. So if I know that you're just gonna win. All right, we're taking a break. We spent, I think we went to the expo hall at like 10. We were lining up, I think 9:30, so it's been around like 6 hours. Just walking around the expo hall, trying so many games, so fun, having a good time, but I'm exhausted. But we're taking a ramen break right now. We found a really fun ramen place. But yeah, do a little break, and then going back to the hotel to put some stuff down, and then we're going to go back to play more games. But I have some thoughts about today. What I do involves a lot of technology. You know, game UX does involve a game engine knowledge, technology knowledge, and just knowing what is out there to design for. If you think about what game UX is for board games, it's really taking the player from point A to point B. And you can also think about what that means in terms of a different genre for games. UI is like the art for the games, how players can understand board state, the cards, the pieces, everything, even though not in a digital form, in the physical form matters. Today we played so many games, so many board games, and it's just a really cool thing to see just the intention behind all the design choices. Like the tactical part of it, the interactive part of it. It makes me think about how, like, what are different ways for you to play or get to jump into the game UX realm is to actually play games, not just video games, but even board games. Because the really core of board games is really how would you motivate the player to win. And it'll be different for competitive games, more co-op games. And it even goes into like different genres of games, like resource building, relationship building, resource management. It's just like every game has different motivations, and it's really cool to see how, let's say, a multiplayer game has each player has the same motivation, but it changes based on the condition, based on the cards, or even a
co-op, those change dramatically. And honestly, if you don't have access to video games, a great way is to jump into board games. And it really opened my eyes today where I realized that there are really maybe 3 to 4 tiers in how you would define difficulty of games, like easy, accessible games like Monopoly, Catan, games like that, and then they could go a deeper layer of maybe it'll take like an hour or so, which has more harder mechanics where there are more rules involved. There's a time-based mechanic. There's like individual player mechanics versus the world mechanics, or turn mechanics, for example. And there's even more, I don't say difficult, but a more immersed gameplay where players can really dive into a whole new story. It's like jumping into more like tabletop RPGs or even story building games. It's really cool, really inspired today, and I love that there are other ways to learn about game UX. Yeah, food's here. Thank you. Yeah, dumplings are here. We're gonna eat now.
Last day today. Pretty tired. Still getting used to the time change. It's last day here in Philly, checking out, and then planning to go to a Arkham tabletop RPG with some friends, seeing if we could all walk in and do a session together. We'll see if that happens, and then we're gonna go try to do a last minute mini painting class. Pretty crazy weekend. Just played a bunch of board games, hung out with friends, and just honestly, it was a good time. It was a very nerdy, very fun. Loved it. Loved every second of it. I forgot to finish my thought yesterday from ramen. Just like how board games are basically video games in just a different platform, and it really put the values of what being in game UX means in general. Because UX, I feel like, is universal and foundational. So I feel like if you can get good at UX in general, foundationally, you're able to transfer all your skills to whatever platform you really need to. And even in games, if you think about it, video games, because you have to think about the technical part of it, like if it is a PC, how the player would play the game through mouse and keyboard versus like in board games, you're thinking about it per session with like the physicality of the pieces, whether you need to roll, whether you need to roll die versus using cards to play. I think it's very interesting to think about even the comparing between onboarding with a video game and onboarding with board games. It would be fun to do like a little analysis and comparison about different types of games and how that helps you be a better designer. All right, done rambling. I'll see you later.
Last day.
One die for every 2 squares, or about every 5 under simple actions that usually cost a probably damages this person.
Do you have another one of those and a hopeful.
Like it when you leave.
No, he was very upset when I left. Rick is instructed to meet yeah, they used to be members of the Jewish sect. PH doesn't get doubles.